Hello, it's Friday, May 17th, and it must be time for another legislative update from your North Carolina Medical Society. We passed the tough part with crossover. We've had kind of an easier week.
Little time to breathe.
But
still a few bills moving, but not very many.
But nice time to be able to catch up with legislators and to kind of see the lay of the land and what we think might happen for the end of session.
Right. So right now the Senate is still in their budget process trying to decide what they're going to keep in and put out of their budget. So we're still waiting to see what that will look like. They're meeting very regularly to decide what's going to go in there. So that's something we're closely following, and we'll hopefully see a budget within the next week or two.
I think we'll definitely see it next week and then probably roll that out for votes the week after. So we'll be reporting to you about that, especially highlighting differences between the House budget and the Senate budget, so we can kind of pick which pieces we like better. Right. Also, because it's been a little slower this week, we thought we'd review two areas of emphasis with you today. One thing that our Board of Trustees for the Foundation have really asked us to work on for the last couple of years is an increase to rural broadband. And that doesn't make a lot of sense directly with healthcare, except when you talk about telemedicine, right?
It does.
Right. And then it makes a lot of sense because it's very hard to do telemedicine when you don't have that rural broadband. And it's amazing how many counties outside of a small spot in that county, there's no access.
Right.
That's
so we've been following several broadband-related bills this session, really prioritizing a handful of those in order to get that increased access to telemedicine. And of course, we're seeing those telemedicine bills move through the House and the Senate as well. So that's something that we really think is interconnected and something that we'll continue following and updating you on throughout session.
Definitely. And this is another one of those places where we get to work with people that we don't always get to work with. We've been working very closely with the County Commissioners Association this year because they've been working on an alternative idea where instead of investing in the groups that have been kind of laying wire so far for maybe the municipalities and the counties to possibly lay wire to get that broadband out. And again, we're just trying to make sure that broadband is out there so that another form of healthcare is available to rural North Carolina citizens. Yeah. So a pretty cool thing, nice, a unique partnership that we've really enjoyed.
But we've also seen a segue of number of other different issues specifically relating to healthcare. And everybody's talking about healthcare, and you've seen the number of bills on our blog that relate to healthcare. So we're probably going to see some type of compromise solution, of the variety of issues that are happening.
That's right. We talk about bundling all the time in healthcare, and that's what's happening down at the General Assembly. They are bundling issues together because the governor put out an all-call, many of you have heard about, we've talked about before, where he said he would basically trade anything for Medicaid expansion. And the legislators are taking him at his word. They're talking about, of course, health care for all working North Carolina families. They're talking about CON reform. They're talking about scope of practice changes. They're talking about a whole host of different things that could all be thrown in together. None of which we know would actually go or wouldn't go.
But it's being talked about right now as part of that compromise solution in the budget process and beyond if what and the governor will sign.
That's right. You know, we told you we thought that the House Bill 655 would be kind of incorporated into the House budget, and it wasn't. So now we're definitely leaning more to this idea that there's going to be some kind of healthcare omnibus bill out there, and we're still trying to figure out exactly what that would be, what that would look like. And then whether it would survive under its own weight or be crushed by the weight of all the different things that get thrown in there. That's right. Yeah. So a lot of different moving parts, but I think that's one of those interesting things for you to note that while we talk about those issues in separate ways,
and sometimes separate bills,
and they are, but sometimes they all get glommed together too. And sometimes an issue that you think, oh, why in the world wouldn't they do this, gets shut down because of something else that gets
And again, policy can be added to the budget, which I think a lot of people don't realize or understand. They think it's just appropriations, but any of those issues that you just mentioned could be stuck in the budget somewhere. It will likely be a part of the negotiation process.
Yeah. On a more happy note,
very happy.
We had a big White Coat Wednesday this week.
Grand. I think we had almost 100 or
Yeah.
over 100 physicians here. We had the pediatricians here, OBGYN, an ophthalmologist, internal medicine.
Right.
Am I forgetting anybody? There were so many people here. It's hard.
Ortho.
Ortho.
Yep.
So a large number of physicians. It was so nice to have them in the building speaking with so many legislators. It was nice to see so many white coats.
Worked out really nice. It just happened to be on the Optometrist Advocacy Day, so we were able to balance out a lot of conversations that were going on there. And then we also had another white coat, a single doctor came down and talked with her legislator on Thursday, got recognized at the House chamber, and I know had a really good conversation with her legislator. So as Sue Ann tells you all the time, it doesn't have to be on a Wednesday. If you can come on a Tuesday, that's great. Come on down. We'd love to have you, or Thursday.
So just shoot us an email and let us know when you can come or if you have any availability, and we're happy to make that work for you.
That's right. So next week, like we said, we're looking forward to getting a glimpse of what the Senate budget might be and what all is included in there. These big healthcare conversations are going to be continuing, so anytime you want to reach out to your legislator and have a conversation about those hot topics that we know are priorities to you, whether it's about Medicaid or certificate of need or scope of practice, now is a really good time to be having those conversations as they are trying to work out what some grand deal may or may not be. Yep. So we hope you have a great weekend, and we look forward to bringing you another update next week. Have a good one.